My name is Ahmed Al-Mansouri. I'm the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia Initiative Program Coordinator for the Cultural Resource Centers at Portland State University. Today, we celebrate some of our Portland State University graduates in a very special way. The theme for this year's celebration is the light and the wonder of revolutionary futures. American poet and civil rights activist Maya Angelou said, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." Today, each one of you is that butterfly. You've encountered numerous obstacles and challenges during your time as students at Portland State University, and you've overcome. Now, it's time to look at what's next. What revolutionary futures are ahead of you? How will you evolve to the next phase of your best self? You are leaders in your family, your communities, and the paths you create will help guide your younger siblings, cousins, and neighbors to their own revolutionary futures. So here you are, on Butterfly Day, marking the closing of one journey, yet the opening of another. And while this new path may include ambiguity, remember that evolution comes in cycles, and that your futures are wonders to delight in. Join us now as we honor our graduates.
My name is Christina Luther, and I am the Director of International Student and Scholar Services. Congratulations, Class of 2020. I'd like to introduce our first student speaker, Merida Farouk. Merida is an international student from Iran, majoring in public health, health sciences on a pre-nursing track and minoring in child, youth, and family studies. She first came to Portland in fall 2015 to start her undergraduate program here at Portland State University. She started her first job as a computer lab attendant with the PSU Office of Information Technology and eventually became ATS Lab's Human Resources Coordinator after a couple of years of serving students and faculty who use the computer labs. Throughout her time here at Portland State, she has been involved in many different organizations and became a part of many resources on campus. Merida's passion for helping her peers and giving back to the community led her to become a mentor for international students starting in her second year at Portland State, and she continued being an ISMP mentor right up until this, her last year at Portland State. She has also been a member of the International Cultural Service Program, an incredible scholarship for international students here at Portland State. Throughout this program, international students have the opportunity to serve the Portland community and raise cultural awareness within the Portland metro area by doing different types of presentations and events. After almost 1 year of being a member of the ICSP, Merida was chosen to be one of 2 coordinators of the program. The coordinators help organize and manage the scholarship program. She also has been a mentor for freshman inquiry for the past 3 years and has co-taught freshman inquiry courses within the University Studies Department. Merida values and appreciates the PSU community for letting her show what she is capable of doing and helping her become the strong person she is today. She is an advocate for misrepresented and underrepresented communities on campus and hopes to become a nurse one day to serve those communities in the way they deserve to be served. She believes that diversity and cultural knowledge are crucial features that all communities need in order to make better versions of themselves.
I remember once my grandmother told me a quote, which was, "Go after your dreams, no matter how unattainable other things it is. And don't let hardships get on your way, because you will not get what you deserve if you don't fight for it." Hello everyone, my name is Merida and I'm from Iran. Growing up, I would have never imagined that I would be standing in the place that I am today. As kids, we all do have dreams, and they grow with us. The older we become, the more real our dreams become, and most often they just remain as our dreams, and turning them into reality needs a huge amount of courage and support, and thank God I always had that support. My support was my mother. She would introduce me to new dreams, dream of educating, the dream of becoming an independent woman, dream of changing my life, and dream of becoming something different than a typical woman in my society. I still remember the day I decided to move to the States to obtain a higher education. I still remember the day I said goodbye to my family, without knowing when would be the next time I would see them. But then I came here, to Portland, and I came to PSU, a university that I always dreamed about, a place that both men and women get educated together and are treated equally. I felt lonely in the beginning, so as many other international students. No friends, new language, new culture, and new expectations. But PSU gave me the opportunity to become a member of it, to feel I belong somewhere and to feel that I can use my humanity to help other humans, and I'm forever thankful for it. I chose to study public health and to become a nurse in the future. I chose that because I cared so much about people that I wanted to have a positive impact on their lives. Within the first year, I got a job on campus as a computer lab attendant, and meanwhile I joined a group named International Women Community, which was a place for women to come together and share their stories and build a community far away from their own homelands. Then I became a part of a scholarship called International Cultural Service Program, which, to be honest, I call it my second home. That is a place that I learned the most about humans, cultures, countries, geography, history, and almost anything that you can think of. But the best thing out of it was the friendship I made. It is sad to say that I have to leave this community behind, and I'm sure it will remain one of my best experiences throughout my whole life. In the second year, I became a mentor for international students, and I started giving back to the community that gave me so much. And in the same year, I became a mentor for freshman inquiry, and that was a great experience because I got to see freshman students learning together and growing together. I have not been able to see my family for the past 5 years, but I now have people around me who care about me as much as my own family does. To all my fellow multicultural students here at PSU, we all have something within us which is so unique, and that is our identity. That is our culture, and that is our story. The journey might be hard, but if I could do it, you all can do it. Never let anything or anyone limit you and be a barrier towards what you can have. The past 5 years has been a life changer for me. I laughed, cried, loved, and cared so much. I gained a perspective, and now I can proudly say I achieved my dream. Now I am ready for a new dream and to fight for it. My journey here at PSU may be over, but this place has been my home for the past 5 years, and it will always remain and have a piece of my heart with it. First, I want to thank my family, who has been there for me for the past 5 years virtually. As you can see, it's so challenging, and have supported me unconditionally. Next, I want to thank someone who accepted me, sheltered me, and has been there for me to call her my second mother. After that, I want to thank my fellow students, co-worker, classmates, and especially the Office of International Students that were there for me in my lowest and highest. Thank you, and thanks PSU for being an open-minded space for all humans, regardless of their identities. May you all fight for your dreams and achieve them. Cheers.
My name is Cynthia Carmina Gomez, and I am the Executive Director of the Cultural Resource Centers, and today I also have the special honor of belonging to this graduating class. Congratulations to all of my fellow classmates and students. Here are some of this year's graduates.
My name is Aini Amir, majoring in Public Health and Community Health Promotion. I will be using my degree to help immigrants, refugees, and build healthy living in communities.
am Dr. Melissa Patiño Vega, and I am a visiting scholar in the World Languages and Literatures Department and in the Chicano Latino Studies program at Portland State University. Congratulations to this year's graduating class. I'd like to introduce Haley Okamoto. Haley Okamoto is a first-generation college student graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. As an out-of-state student from Hawaii, it was important for Haley to find a sense of community here at PSU. Throughout her years, she has been involved with the Empower program, the Orientation team, the Student Ambassadors team, the NASPA Undergraduate Fellows program, the University Studies Peer Mentoring program, and the Ronald E. McNair Scholars program. At the start of her senior year, Haley founded a new student organization, Mixed Me. As someone who identifies as multiracial, Native Hawaiian, Japanese, Filipino, she felt as if it were important to provide a space for the mixed heritage community to explore, navigate, and balance all parts of their identity. Haley's most memorable PSU moment was studying abroad in Spain to complete her senior capstone. She is grateful for all of the experiences she has had during her time at Portland State. Moving forward, it is her goal to obtain a PhD so that she can be a role model for other Native Hawaiians who want to pursue higher education. Haley would like to say mahalo nui loa to everyone that has supported her throughout her PSU journey.
In Hawaii, the indigenous a'ali'i plant is small yet very strong. It has deep roots that can't be knocked down easily. The a'ali'i plant creates tiny yellow, pink, and maroon flowers that are often used to make beautiful leis, which are also known as floral garlands. The a'ali'i plant is a symbol for the Hawaiian word onipa'a, which means steadfast or determined. A Hawaiian saying that was passed down from my mentor to me is he a'ali'i ku makani mai iau, a ohe makani na e ku lai. It means I can hold my own, even in the face of difficulties. PSU's Multicultural Class of 2020, Aloha mai kākou. It is an honor to virtually gather with you all, my fellow classmates of color, to rejoice in our final moments together. While our journey may not have been the easiest, we each remained steadfast and determined, which allowed us to navigate, survive, and thrive in a system that was not meant for us. As we move forward, I would like to leave this message with you all. As people of color, we are political by nature. I encourage you all to either activate or continue to feed your political identity because we can now use our education to create positive social change for our communities of color. Empower yourself to educate those around you so that our communities can learn to stand in solidarity with one another. Always use your voice because it deserves to be heard. No matter where we end up in the future, always remember the strength, resilience, toughness, and beauty that is embedded within you, just like the a'ali'i plant. We must also remember that our knowledge, expertise, and resources can always be intertwined with one another to create a beautiful, adorning lei that is representative of PSU's Multicultural Class of 2020. E ho'o mai ka'iana kākou. Congratulations, everyone. We made it.
Hello, I'm Dr. Maurice Hamilton, and I'm Professor of Philosophy and Affiliate Faculty in Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies here at Portland State University. Congratulations, Class of 2020. Here are some more of this year's outstanding graduates.
Hello, my name is Jill Townley, and I'm the Associate Director of International Student Life. A big congratulations to this year's graduating class. I'd like to introduce Abdullah Al-Rujaib. Abdullah AJ Al-Rujaib is an international student from Kuwait. He is majoring in environmental engineering and works as a programming team member in the Multicultural Student Center. He is also the Vice President of the Kuwaiti Student Club 2019-2020 and has taken part in the progress of the Middle East, North Africa, South Asian Initiative. Community building is important for AJ, and so he wishes to put his experience to work by creating safe spaces for community members to thrive both online and offline. Finally, AJ would like to bring more environmental awareness back to Kuwait and push forward the importance of spreading love, joy, and kindness.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah Al-Rajab, an international student coming to you from my home in Kuwait. Welcome to the Multicultural Graduation Class of 2020. Assalamu alaikum. Growing up in Yarmouk City, Kuwait, I was the nerd of the family, the one who had his science experiments book everywhere he went. I knew I wanted to study abroad the moment the idea was introduced to me. You can make your dreams come true, I told myself. But my emotions got tangled up between homesickness and worrying about my academic performance when I first got here into Portland. I didn't know how to navigate life. I wanted to be my true Kuwaiti self, but it didn't feel like Portland wanted me to. Sometime in the second term in PSU, I found myself learning more about why I had this survive versus thrive battle in my mind. The concept of race and social justice was not something that was introduced to me when I first got here. However, I am now talking to you as an Arab, Manasa, a Khaliji person, and I am proud of where I come from and who I am. By time, I found myself building my own family here in PSU, from people that I met in classes and the Multicultural Student Center. They became home away from home. And when I am home here in Kuwait, I take it upon myself to educate on concepts that I learned in PSU. Today, I wear my heritage as my armor, my language as my sword, and my thoughts as my shield, and I invite you to do the same. Today, we are our own revolution. And to end off, I'd like to share a short piece of poetry that I wrote for all of us. Brothers and sisters, today, I want you to stand with me. With your knowledge, language, heritage, and minds ever so free, be your own revolution light. This is the beginning of the rest of your life. A big thank you to my fellow graduates for making it this far, and I wish you all the best and the highest of positions. Spread love, joy, and kindness, and have a wonderful day.
Aloha, kumusta, and hello. I'm Dr. Alma Wansisuk Trinidad, a professor in the School of Social Work. Congratulations to the class of 2020. We'd like now to present some more of this year's graduates.
I'd now like to introduce this year's keynote speaker. Our speaker is an indigenous Ethiopian, cultural organizer, educator, and artivist. Also, a first-generation student with a hard-earned bachelor's degree that took 6.5 years and 4 colleges to acquire. She recently completed a master's in applied anthropology at Oregon State University, where she served as the graduate teaching assistant for AYA Women of Color Initiative, Vice President of the Black Graduate Student Association, and Vice President of Social Justice for Coalition of Graduate Employees. She is a founding member of the Radical Imagination Collective and lead organizer in its annual gathering in Corvallis, Oregon. She has received several awards for her culturally aware and equity-focused leadership. She enjoys her yearly trip to Ethiopia, reading comic books and speculative fiction, long phone calls with friends and family, and swimming in the ocean. I introduce to you Mikanai Erafane.
Hello, class of 2020. My name is Miltonai Arafine. I am a living ancestor, and you are all my wildest dream. My parents did not teach us our mother tongues. When we were old enough to both ask and hear the reason why, they told us we knew we were never going back. For my sisters and I, this was both permission to be fully American and a provocation to retrieve what had been hidden from us in plain sight. My own name is a constant reminder of my parents' story of survival. Ma'unay in Tigrinya means to survive a struggle. They fled war-torn Ethiopia as refugees and immigrated to rural Virginia in 1982. I was born just 3 months later. Many diasporic children experience the strange sensation of perceiving deeply what we have lost and longing for it, while also desperately wanting to assimilate to our adopted culture. When I was 16, we traveled to Ethiopia for the first time. We arrived at Atse Tedros Airport in Gondar, Ethiopia in rainy July. When we exited the tiny airport with our collective 600 pounds of luggage, we were greeted by over 50 family members who had all piled into my uncle's bus to serve as a welcoming party. We danced, sang, cried, clapped, hugged, laughed, ululated, and kissed all the way back to my grandparents' house. Clusters of family and neighbors greeted us, and the celebration continued into the wee hours. My aunt drummed on a 5-gallon bucket while the neighborhood traditional musician freestyled lyrics that told an epic tale of war, dispossession, and homecoming. My sisters and I felt as if we had known these people, our kin, our whole lives. I can say with full conviction that I know love. I was born into fugitivity. I am a product of war. I am also the product of revolutionary and radical love. This is not a fairy tale of a lost princess returning back to her African kingdom and living happily ever after. Over the course of several journeys to Ethiopia, I became what Saida Hartman calls a come-go-back child. Those who brave the wreckage of history and bear the burdens that others refuse. I returned to Ethiopia, often alone, over and over, as if being pulled by a cosmic magnet. My dreams of running away from the U.S. to start again in Ethiopia started to fade into a transnational Afro-diasporic identity crisis. As I braved the wreckage of dispossession, war, loss, and forgotten mother tongues, I could not simply hand in my Africa card in exchange for unconditional belonging. 20 trips later, and over 20 years later, I have learned that belonging is not a place I can escape to. Amy Carrillo writes of a sense of self that is radically inclined toward others, toward the communities to which we belong, with whom we long to be, and to whom we feel accountable. Rowe further observes that who we love, the communities that we live in, who we expend our emotional energies building ties with, these connections are all functions of power. Healing and transformation are not easy. We often experience immense pain, suffering, loss, and rejection. We also experience love, pleasure, triumph, and unexpected camaraderie. Our power comes from trust of self, intuition, interconnectedness, compassion, vision, nurturance, spirituality, and persistence. Living by these principles is risky and can be life-threatening, and yet we must embody what is conveyed in the following quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. This global pandemic has opened a space for us to radically imagine and co-create our futures in the here and now. What kind of ancestor do you want to be? I leave you with this excerpt from one of my favorite short stories by Alexis Pauline Gumbs. Ancestor Alexis, it seems like people were afraid a lot. Maybe every day? It's hard to imagine, but it seems that way from the writing. I had to remember that no one knew that things would get better, and that even people who were working to make it happen had to live with oppression every day. It seems like maybe you knew about us. It feels like you loved us already. Thank you for being brave. Bless you all the best for everything to come. I know you will all be magnificent.
Hello graduates, my name is Stephen Percy and I'm the president of Portland State University. Multicultural Graduation is a special celebration that recognizes each of your unique journeys. I'm so proud of you and excited for you to begin this next chapter of your life. Thank you for choosing PSU, and now please join me in celebrating more of PSU's newest alumni.
Dear graduates,
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 Dear graduates, today we share your excitement and joy
for this unique milestone in your academic career.
Many of you are students of color who have overcome multiple barriers in your path to graduation.
Some of you are the first in your family to earn a post-secondary degree,
while others are international students who left the familiar in hopes of bringing
new ways of learning back to their home countries.
While we are unable to experience an in-person celebration with you and your loved ones,
we hope that this virtual ceremony can capture what makes your accomplishments so special.
Our committee is made up of Cultural Resource Center's leadership, stakeholders from across campus,
and students just like you. Together, we join your family and friends on this momentous day and say to you,
congratulations, class of 2020! Yeah!